Earth's climate is warming dramatically, and the signs are all around us, from vanishing glaciers to zombie viruses, awakening and melting permafrost. Concept illustration of global warming and climate change. Half of the Earth is one fire, whilst the other half is not, all on a black background. Climate change is dragging our planet toward disaster. It's undeniable, Earth's climate is warming dramatically, and it is wreaking havoc on animals, plants and humans. And if people don't curb greenhouse gas emissions substantially and fast, we could be barreling toward an even scarier future. From zombie viruses awakening, to polar bears dumpster diving, here are 10 signs Earth's climate is out of control.
Number 1.
Zombie viruses wake up. Permafrost melts into the Kolyma River outside of Zyryanka, Russia and Siberia on July 4, 2019. In a new study, researchers look for ancient viruses in several places in Siberia, including 2 rivers. Zombie viruses are being revived from permafrost. Many of these ancient microbes have been locked away in the frozen ground in Siberia for tens of thousands of years, but now, these viruses are waking up as a result of Arctic melting. Researchers have unearthed 13 viruses from Siberia that were viable even after centuries in deep freeze. Could they infect people? These particular ones infect only amoebas, but their viability raises the risk that as further permafrost melt plagues the region, one of these ancient monsters could pose a threat to humans.
Number 2.
Dramatic sea level rise. Flood waters around his home after Hurricane Nicole blew ashore on November 10, 2022 in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's one of the best known signs of a climate off the rails, and one of the scariest, sea level rise. Coastlines along the U.S. could rise an average of 12 inches by 2050. Average sea level rise will be bigger on the east coast than on the west coast, and low-lying eastern cities could be in especially big trouble.
Number 3.
Disappearing glaciers. 1/3 of World Heritage glaciers, including the Lyell Glacier in Yosemite National Park, will vanish in 30 years, and that's bad news for the world's freshwater supply. Yellowstone and Yosemite, 2 of the most iconic national parks in the U.S., could completely lose their glaciers by 2050, a UN report has concluded. The changes aren't just about pretty photo ops, these icy regions provide crucial fresh water for local communities. By the end of the century, half of the world's ice cover could vanish if we don't reduce our emissions, the report found. Even if we tighten our belts on emissions significantly, nearly 1/3 of these glaciers could disappear.
Number 4.
Climate chaos. Seasons are periods of the year with distinct weather conditions and day length. Earth's climate may become chaotic, physicists have predicted. Unchecked greenhouse gas emissions will not only warm the planet, they will make weather patterns more erratic and unpredictable. In the best-case scenario, Earth stabilizes at a new, warmer temperature. But in the worst case, seasons fluctuate wildly from year to year, and periods of hot and cold follow each other, much more quickly than they do now.
Number 5.
Dumpster diving polar bears. Some polar bears indulging in a trash heap. Polar bears are now being forced to eat garbage and dirty diapers, thanks to a huge loss of their prime fishing real estate, sea ice. With less stable sea ice to trawl for seals, the Arctic beasts are increasingly foraging for food in landfills and garbage dumps on the edges of towns. With interactions with humans increasing, some polar bears are being shot.
Number 6.
Worse weather. Digitally enhanced NASA satellite photo of Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Forget about a distant future. With a chaotic climate, the weather is already getting worse, thanks to climate change. A variety of studies have shown that the hots will get hotter, the colder places will get colder, droughts and flooding will be more severe, and hurricanes will have higher wind speeds and moisture. As if that weren't bad enough, swings between weather patterns will be more dramatic and unpredictable. The only way to mitigate this, dramatically reduce our carbon emissions.
Number 7.
Penguin populations on the rocks. A young emperor penguin chick sits on the feet of an adult penguin, nestled into its belly. Emperor penguins are now threatened, thanks to climate change. The best-dressed birds have joined the ranks of threatened species, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has proposed protecting emperor penguins under the Endangered Species Act. The biggest penguin species is at risk for the same reason. Polar bears are struggling, stunning losses of sea ice. Up to 70% of emperor penguin breeding colonies could vanish by 2050 if sea ice loss continues at the current rate.
Number 8.
A sixth mass extinction. Fragile corals grow in the shallows of Raja Ampat, Indonesia. Earth is barreling toward its sixth mass extinction. 5 other times in Earth's history, vast swaths of life on the planet have died off in a short period of a few million years. Our planet's species aren't yet dying off at rates to qualify for a mass extinction, but we are inching toward it. On average, the background rate of extinction sees 5% to 10% of animal species disappear every million years. A major extinction occurs when 60% of species and 35% of genera vanish. The current rate of extinction is increasing but still within the normal range. However, once temperatures are 16.2 degrees Fahrenheit above their current average, which scientists estimate would not happen until 2500, Earth would enter major mass extinction territory.
Number 9.
Point of no return. A new study has warned that irreversible climate tipping points are more numerous and closer to being triggered than previously thought. We may be much closer to the climate point of no return than we previously thought. Tipping points beyond which the climate begins irreversibly breaking down could be reached at much lower temperatures than past models suggested. There are 16 major tipping points, and several including the melting of the Greenland and West Antarctic ice sheets, the reduction in Arctic permafrost, the death of tropical coral reefs and the failure of a key ocean current in the Labrador Sea are in the danger zone. All tipping points will be reached if Earth's temperature rises 2.7 F above pre-industrial levels. Earth is already 2.0 F above that baseline and is likely to reach 3.6 to 5.4 F above pre-industrial levels before stabilizing.
Number 10.
Doomsday Glacier at risk. The researcher on board sits in front of Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica. The Thwaites Glacier, more ominously nicknamed the Doomsday Glacier, is teetering much closer to collapse than we thought. Thwaites is a Florida-sized hunk of ice in West Antarctica. Its total liquidation could raise sea levels by 3 to 10 feet. A new map shows that the glacier is hanging on by its fingernails to a bumpy ride on the seafloor. But if it gets detached from this ridge, the current rate of warming would predict a much higher rate of melt. We made extra efforts to produce such kind of informative videos. If you feel that this video gives you some kind of valuable information, then like and subscribe this channel. Share this video with your family and friends. Hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any such kind of informative videos.